Hi, folks. Welcome here. They're filming next door also. Uh, if you can turn your mics off, I'm okay if you turn your cameras on so I can see you. Okay? And here we are. We're going to start now. Welcome to Method 2.0. I want to talk to you about a few things. Just so you know, today we're going to do this. We're going to do relaxation. We're going to do a couple of different exercises that are sensory work related. We're going to do one exercise. We talk about your career. And then we're going to also finalize it with talking about the writing your own stuff. First of all, as I was driving here, I thought of swapping my top because I thought, this has a lot of stains on it, looks like shit. And I want you guys to understand that when it comes time to our work, when it comes time to acting classes, when it comes time to a space for you to work, it's not about looking good. You don't need your ego. You don't need your good looks in the studio. They're great for the red carpet. You know what I'm saying? This is here where we've got a space here to bear our heart and soul, not to be sitting there looking good, right? You'll be amazed at how places like the Actors Studio in LA, it's not a big place. It's a tiny place. It's a lovely place, but it's a shitty place. You know what I'm saying? Don't be sold on these places that look impressive. You just need a little corner of your room. Doesn't matter where you do this, doesn't matter what you look like. And I left this on purpose because I thought this is us working. If this was a red carpet, different. Put your makeup on, all of you look great, right? Now, let's talk about a few things. We've been doing this. We're in a different space now because there's people filming next door. Yep, cool, right? We've been doing this. This is our 13th week, right? And it started off one at a time, one class here, two classes there. And eventually I sat down with my team, and I'll tell you as we do this what we've come up with, right? Because there's 4 of them working behind the scenes. They're doing other stuff right now. So if anything goes wrong, like you can't hear me or something, send me a note. As you do, I'll go grab them, okay? Today, I want to talk to you guys about sensory work and why we do it. Uh, a lot of people are under the misconception that sensory work is done to find things that trigger emotions, and that's not the case at all. We're not doing this to trigger emotions. I'll give you an example. Let's assume I do some sensory work, and I touch this morning drink, and then after that I touch something else. Let's assume I'm doing the morning drink exercise, right? If I do the morning drink exercise and it feeds me because it triggers all these memories, and then comes the emotion, okay? That's what triggers me. For me to have a morning drink with my dad right now would trigger a memory, which would feed an emotion, okay? That we're doing these exercises so that your body gets used to and gets comfortable going down those paths. Now, if I remember the morning drink and I remember having it with dad, I'm not going to cut and paste that on a film set. Because what happens is you get to a film set now and you go, ooh, I remember I did this sensory exercise in Peter's class or at home, whatever it was, and I touched this cup and I was having a cup with dad and I got emotional. So now here you are in class, or I mean on a stage, and what you're doing is doing that exercise simply because it triggered certain emotions. So now you're forcing the body to become emotional. That's your main trigger. And what happens is the body dies. The body says, I'm not doing this, I know where we're headed. You need to start thinking memories, not emotions. You need to start thinking objects that mean something, like this cup, as most of you can see it. It's an actual ceramic cup. It was given to me by a friend. It's from New York, but it triggers New York and drinking a coffee cup. It's not just a generic thing. So what we do very well is create these moments, make them personal and private, which trigger off ideas for the body. Now, if you're on a film set, your job is to create whatever the film set is as a memory, as something that's personal and private. And that's a lot of what we do. And all we do it here, the reason why we do it in class, is to condition your body to get comfortable going down there, because the body doesn't want to be triggered. The body wants to stay neutral. So what we do is we tweak it, and it just builds acting muscle. Your body will get more comfortable going down these scenarios. Your body will start to trust you more, especially if you label it in a manner that isn't result orientated. And that's why I tell actors and directors, it helps a director to know how we work. So when they direct a certain way, our body and our logic goes there. Like I've said, it's one thing to say, hey, sit there in the chair and cry. It's another thing to say, hey, sit there, have a morning drink with dad and say goodbye to him. You know what I'm saying? That's why we do it, conditioning the acting muscle. And every time you do these exercises, as I've said in the past, it's a matter of not mimicking them, but rediscovering them. So you're not going down that same path every time. We're going to do this today. And once again, I just picked the monologue. It's from I Never Sang for My Father. I'll read you the words before we do. What we'll do now is we'll do relaxation, okay, for about 20 minutes. Then we will do a sensory work, which we've done before, but now we're adding a few things to it, shaving or makeup. Once again, we're not repeating. We're rediscovering these things. And after that, we will do 2 different case scenarios for sensory work, and then we'll talk about acting and stuff. Now, for those of you that haven't joined us, just follow. Sit in your chair, start relaxation. It doesn't matter what you start with. It could be a big move. We'll start with a big move. Could be a small move. I'll move back so you can see me. Okay, those of you know what you're doing, start. First of all, sit down in your chair. Last time we did this, it was a Thursday night. Now it's a Saturday morning over here in Melbourne. I don't know where you guys are, but the body hasn't woken up yet. I'm definitely not, awake yet, right? My body slept in today. You know what I'm saying? Got up, drove here because I was staying somewhere else. So I haven't felt my body yet physically. So as you do, don't just start moving. Just sit in your chair, relax. I'll sit a bit of an angle so you can see me, and just take the body in. Just make a sound as you work and relax. Stop this from drifting off. This is your number one enemy up here, and your number one, ally. So the moment you drift off, move. I'm going to start with the big arm, the shoulder, just to show you guys. As you rotate, once again, focus on the shoulder, the muscles folding over right here. I feel them folding over right there. Make a sound. It's okay to do this. Get your head out the way. It's okay to do this. Make a sound as you work. Rotate the shoulder. Keep everything loose. Don't drift off. Don't meditate. Now, right there, as I moved, once again, I felt this shoulder creep up. Relax it. Relax it. Get your head out the way. I like our new background, by the way. As you rotate the shoulder, make a sound. And relax. I already feel, as you should, I feel this shoulder way more than any other part of the body. And when you finish a move, just sit there. Rotate your neck. Let's do the neck just for the hell of it. Rotate in any direction you like. My mic's right here, so if you don't hear me talking, it's probably because I'm rotating my neck, but you get the big picture. Once again, the moment you feel your brain take off, rotate, make a sound as you work. I feel tension, all that stuff. Feed it. Right now, while you're doing, you guys keep moving while I'm talking. If at any stage during relaxation, if you start having ideas in your head, you keep moving and make it physical. Sensory work is different. We can bring them into play, but for relaxation, just focus on the physical. Make a sound as you work. Rotate your neck. While you're rotating your neck, as I always say, if you feel your shoulders creep up, relax. If you feel your jaw tense, relax. Okay? Make it right there, right there. Get your mind out the way. Rotate to the left. Don't force these things. If you got back problems, work around it. Rotate to the left or right. Sound is important. I say this every week. It opens up the body. You're going to feel like even now, right now, I'm sitting here talking. I know they're filming next door something. I'm a bit aware of them, right? But at the same time, I've got to be audible enough to feel a vibration on my chest. So whenever you're ready, rotate all this. Turn to the left. Slow things down. We're only doing it for about 15 to 20 minutes. Like I've said, in LA, they do it for a good hour. At class, we do it for 40 minutes. So don't bulldoze this. Don't rush it under any circumstance. Rotate your neck. As you rotate your neck, be aware of your shoulders creeping up. So relax your shoulders. And just sit there before we do the next move. Genuinely feel the body. Now, I want you to pick up your leg, rotate the ankle down here, right there, rotate the ankle, don't rush. I'm doing this just to show you, okay? And relax. Whenever you're ready, pick up your leg, your knee up and down. That's all you need. It should actually look like this. I'm looking up to see the camera, but it should look like this. So I'm focused on this, the knee. And then whenever you're ready, it's okay to shift your body weight around. Rotate the hip. If you pick the knee up and you hear this, you're straining, so just relax it. Rotate this hip right there. Whenever you're ready, same thing on the other side. Pick up your leg, rotate the ankle, relax your shoulders, make a sound as you work. Relax, pick up the knee, up and down. Relax, pick up the hip. It looks like this. Relax the leg. Make a sound as you work. We'll just do a couple more moves, then we'll start. Imagine you're sitting down, which you are, of course. Imagine there's a pole there. Work around it. Some of this you kind of have to force. Right now, the last thing my body wants to do is wake up. You know what I'm saying? All right? But when it comes to acting, that's our instrument. So right now, you need to connect to your body. That's all we're doing this for. Rotate. You know, we're not doing it just to stretch and feel good. It's really got to do with awareness. And in between your moves, as I tell you guys every week, and this is your own discipline, when you're doing this at home, you become your own judge, okay? Don't be like me when I was in class watching people drift off. So as you sit here right now, drop your arms between your legs and crumble the body forward. Imagine someone's holding your shoulders and just slowly start to go down. Very, very, very slowly pick up the body, make a sound as you work. Feel your body. Feel your body, right? Feel it. Don't think about it. One big move we'll do. I won't make the explosive sound. You guys can, just in case they're filming next door. Imagine you're going to punch forward, right? Shoulder height. See that? Take your arms out to the side. Feel your chest pop up a bit. Make a sound as you do this. And then whenever you're ready, make an explosive sound really quickly. Do it as many times as you can by punching out to the side. Bang, and then relax. To some degree. We've done it barely for 20 minutes. We haven't even done 15 minutes, right? I'm bulldozing this because this is your, what's the word I'm looking for? This is your treadmill. It's pointless for me to sit there, right, taking you guys in and watching you do this for 40 minutes. Do you know what I'm saying? By the way, one thing I want to try and do, I'm going to move this a bit there so it makes more sense for me. One thing I want to try and do, guys, after this, towards the end of it, I'll explain to you guys what we've come up with, right? One thing I'd like to do is, number one, keep this class on Saturdays at 2:30 because I finish teaching at 2, so I can go straight from class to this. And I know there's parts of the world, because we have people watching in London, in Paris, in New York. So if we can manage it, I'll do one class on Saturday afternoon and one class during the evening. I'll find a time between a class that we do this. It's going to be exactly the same information, just different times, all right? And the other thing I'd like to do when we have to figure out the logistics of this is eventually, apart from just doing this once a week, which is the online course, which will last about 2 hours, I'd like to be able to bring in the camera, that camera there, and set it up in the class while I teach. That will run for 4 hours. And what we'll do with that one is just have you there watching. You can participate in the class. You can do sensory work with us. You can do relaxation with us, which we do for 40 minutes. And you're just kind of tagging along there. And you can also observe the scenes. But here's the logistics of it. Number one, I've got to see who's available. Number two, I've got to figure out the internet connections in the class because it's deep over there. And also I need to talk to the actors. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone wants to be seen. So we have to say, guys, this class, we're going to be filming. There'll be people watching online. But it will force you guys, when you join us, to do a full 40 minutes. That's the point of all this, okay? That's separate from this class, separate from the live 2-hour class, which I kind of tailor by cutting things down just to keep it to 2 hours. We're going to try 3 different exercises now. They're all sensory based, okay? The first one is called, and by the way, I know there's a sound you can hear. There's a bunch of refrigerators way down there, okay? The first one, it's once again, it's shaving or makeup, but I want you guys to learn the different layers of it, okay? And we've all heard this monologue. I'll read it to you again very, very quickly. It's from I Never Sang for My Father. You can tailor it to be I Never Sang for My Mother. I never, you know what I'm saying? You can make it for you, suit you. But basically the words are this. That night I left my father's house forever. I took the first right and the second left. And this time I went as far as California. Peg and I saw him once or twice. Then he came out to California to visit us. He had a fever and swollen ankles. And we put him in the hospital and he never left. We'll keep reading this later, but we're going to go through bit by bit to show you guys how you can tailor a monologue to sensory work. Now, as always, we're going to start with you guys touching things. Remember the golden rule to acting. Most actors, live up here. So what they do is this, and they become intellectual about it. Pointless. I want you guys to touch once again. The idea now is you're creating a childhood home when the early years, age 15 to 20, when you were shaving or earlier, you know what I'm saying? Or if you're doing makeup, do makeup. Same exercise exactly. But we'll do what we'll call the neutral level. Right now, I'm just building up the space neutrally, okay? And there's no cutting corners with this stage. If you don't build up the foundation of your sensory work, it collapses. If you build a good foundation, when you go up to the high levels and you lose focus or you get distracted, you've got somewhere to fall back on. If you don't have that, what happens? It falls out the window and your whole exercise goes, you don't believe it, right? So always start, and I want you to understand this. Right now, I'm here at the Alex Theater with this behind me, with all this technical shit around me. You guys are at your house, wherever you are. And if you closed your eyes, you can hear certain things. I can hear the refrigerators. I can hear the people in the other room a bit. And I can smell certain things. My body intellectually knows that I'm here. I'm not at my house where I grew up in. So now we ask yourself, what is it, if I blindfolded you, that makes you remember that? And use all your senses once again. If I blindfolded you and put you in your house where you grew up, let's start with the smell. If you're in the room that you put makeup on, or you're in the room where you shaved, I can smell right away my dad's aftershave. I can smell it. I can visualize the bottle. So instead of just smelling it and visualizing the bottle, the next step is to reach out and touch it. And you make a sound. Right now, I'm just going to inhale and exhale, make a sound as I exhale. It opens up the body. Also, what it does is, because there's no words there, your brain doesn't worry about how the sound comes out. If I put words, you would start to worry about what it sounds, or you'd be thinking about the meaning. So while you're establishing this stuff, do nothing but touch it. Nothing but touch it. There's the aftershave that belonged to my dad. Now, because I know that the aftershave bottle connects to dad, as I do this, with your eyes closed at the beginning, you have to have them open to some degree to see me, or just listen to me. Touch the bottom or the top of the mirror. There's the top of the mirror. There's the bottom of the mirror. There's the corner of the mirror, whatever the mirror is for you. And as you're doing this, touch the faucet. I usually start with faucet, mirror, counter, sink. If you're doing makeup, touch your mirror, touch the makeup bag. Is the sink cold or warm? And then whenever you're ready, I'm going to put my chin at the corner of the TV right there. Because I touched aftershave, which reminds me of dad, watch one feature of your face that reminds you of dad or mom. That's up to you guys. Remember, guys, the golden rule to our work: use everything, share nothing. Don't tell even me what you're doing, mom or dad. It's private information. It's no one's business to get inside privately, right? It's not therapy. We use everything, but we don't talk about it. So right now, I share my thoughts with you so you know how I work or how you should work. Right now, as you're doing this, look at your chin. Smell the aftershave. My chin reminds me of my dad. You look at whatever piece of your body that reminds you of that person. Chin for me, right there. And you can open and close your eyes. Once again, you can smell the aftershave if you want to. And now as I open and close my eyes, I'm looking at the chin at the corner of the room right there, or the TV. I can also focus on my fingers. And I think I've shared with you guys in the past that I have similar fingers to my grandmother, which happens to be my dad's mom, which feeds me. Dad, 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 dad. Right there. And for now, what we've done is created the place to some degree. It's what we call neutral. Now, this is how we start to implement words when it comes to sensory work. The words here, I know these words, I'm just reading them because here they are for you guys. It says, that night I left my father's house forever. Now, you don't have to get intellectual about this. And by the way, while I'm talking, you guys should keep touching. Keep establishing your place. Keep creating it. Keep looking in the mirror. Even if you had a script in your hands, you can still read it and then go back to this, because this is what sells you your believability. So let's start with the words. It says that night. Now, the author knows which night. They wrote it. And it doesn't have to be literal. I left my house and I literally went to California. So these words for me match. That night, I left my father's house forever. I took the first right, second left, and I went all the way to California. It doesn't have to mean a literal leaving. Could it mean that that night you and dad took one step away from each other? You decided to declare, I want to become an actor, or I want to move out, or I want to do this with my life versus this. So before you start saying the word that night, because that's triggered by the script, let's ask the golden question, and this is what Stella Adler was very good at. Which night? And I want you to understand how these words will come out completely differently based on what we do with our choices. So right now it's neutral. There's the aftershave. There's my hands that remind me of dad. And I always ask myself two questions. Who worked harder, dad or me, when I look at these hands? Who worked harder? My grandmother. She was a very hardworking woman. I couldn't compete with her. I mean, the woman worked around the clock as a nurse. So if I think of grandma, I'd feel like a lump of shit because I go, oh, she worked around the clock. I mean, literally a hard worker, hard woman. She didn't go get lattes and shit like that during her work. And if I don't want to go in that direction, I don't think of grandma. I don't push it that direction. But for now, it's neutral. So let's talk about that night. Let's start with what I call something positive. Tonight, in this household, my mirror's here, my bathroom is here. This is where I do shaving, for instance. I remember the kitchen is in that direction. And I want to go down a positive path for now. Let's make it, first of all, that your makeup or your shaving cream and your toothbrush and your hairbrush are brand new. Put a bar of soap there and it's brand new. And you know who made sure it's nice and clean? And you know who made sure it's brand new for you? And I want you to find a nice new clean towel and put it around your shoulders. This was your towel when you were a kid. And it's nice. It just came out of the dryer. And you can smell it. So now when I look in the mirror, I'm still seeing my chin. I have this nice feeling about it. Because mom made sure it's nice and clean. Mom cleaned the mirror. Mom cleaned the space, nice and clean. Wow. And because we're going down what we call a positive path, now I want you to hear in the other room, mom and dad talking. You can smell their food. Mom made some food. Smell it. And they're talking and they're laughing. As you, let's comb our hair, all of us. Find the hairbrush, find your hairbrush from when you were a kid. Look at it in the mirror, open and close your eyes. And whenever you're ready, start to comb it. There you go. You're going to comb your hair because you're going to go out there and face the world. And as you're doing this, I want you to hear mom and dad talking about you. Now, here's the golden thing. This is why I say it's not therapy. It's not whether you believe it or not. It's not you going, no, they never did. This is acting. Make them do that. You're hearing what you've always wanted to hear, and there they are saying the best things about you. They might not have said these in life, but it works for us. We're actors. They're saying what a great kid you are, how much they believe in you. And it's going to really be your day today. Hear them laughing. Hear them saying the exact nice things about you. Feel that towel. And now the words. Because the words that night are fed by that night that mom and dad were saying nice things about you. And there was beautiful food going on and you could smell it. And there was a lot of love. And the lotion smells good. And there's an aftershave that reminds you of dad. And the whole house is in sync. And it's beautiful. And the sink is clean. Touch the sink. And I want you to touch the top right-hand corner of your mirror. And each family member, mom and dad, have written something positive about you. And you go, wow, what a night to leave. This night, this is a big night. I'm leaving with a lot of support. And now what we're going to do is we're going to bulldoze the words. We've set up enough of our ingredients to trust ourselves now. The moment you lose this trust, if you lose focus or if something happens, go back to the basics, the corner of the mirror, the chin, the aftershave right there. Make a sound as you work. And now let's try something. You're going to go to that night, I left my father's house forever, right? That night, I want you to listen to them. And it says right here, I left my father's house forever. I took the first right and the second left. Now, just cut and paste this. Literally. Imagine right now, you're not in the sink anymore. You're standing on the first right. Where is the first right to your house, in that house? I'm in front of the house right now. I go right. There it is. I'm at the top right-hand corner of my street, and I see my house right there. Top right, second left. I literally remember the street going 2 streets to the left, and my house is back there. My specific house. And then I went all the way to California. For me, I literally remember landing at LAX. So I can envision myself landing at LAX, literally looking back and seeing my house all the way back in Melbourne. Believe it or not, your brain will do that. And I want you all to understand me. And I know sometimes this is hard to explain, especially when we're not in front of each other. I can envision my mirror here, but through the walls and through the whole block, I can envision my house in LA, meaning I left this house to go to that house. And the words could come out something like this. I'm overdoing it now, but you understand me. That night, because now the words are coming from the top of the page. I'm remembering mom and dad talking. And it's okay to improvise, by the way, around the words to find the connection. So I go, oh my God, I remember mom cooking. Oh God, it was great to hear dad. That night. I want you to take your stuff and get ready to leave. Take your toothbrush, take your towel, look towards the house, and say goodbye. And go, that night, here I am leaving. I envision saying goodbye to mom and dad as I'm saying the words of the script that night. And now I envision, and just jump straight to it. Now I envision at the edge of the street, it says the first right. Let's go to the first right. And there's my house way down there to the left. I envision me standing there with my stuff, ready to go for my journey. So when I say that line for a split second, I could go, I took the first right and the second left, and there I am, I left them behind. They're still in their house. The reason why we gave and which we could accept for not leaving is the swollen ankles, but the real reason, the arteries were hardening, and gradually over several years, he slipped in a complete and speechless senility with his life centered in his burning eyes. You left giving mom and dad a hug. You left under good terms. You left under what we call positive terms. Now let's cut and paste. Imagine you came back to that house 10 years later. It took me 20 years to come back, for instance. What does the house look like 20 years later? I'm now going to go back here. Follow me for a sec. Go along with this logic. I now arrive back to this house, and it's 20 years later. In the other room now, where mom and dad were having dinner, it's no longer mom and dad having an amazing dinner. Now it's a much older person based on the script. So I want you now to create your mirror once again. I want you to look at your hands and realize, what have you done with those 20 years since you left the house? And I want you to pick up the aftershave, and the bottle's almost empty. And as you look at your hands, and as you look at your chin, or whatever it is, remind you of that mom or dad person, whichever one you're going with. I want you to look over there. I'm looking in that direction because that's where my kitchen was. And literally now, imagine you're flying through the walls, land over here, and I want you to create a father who has aged. And he's sitting in his chair. And he's almost disconnected. It says, let's hear the words. The arteries were hardening, and gradually over several years, he slipped into a complete and speechless senility with all his life centered in his burning eyes. When I was visiting him and we would sit and look at each other, his eyes would mist over and his nostrils would pinch over with emotions, but I could never learn what the emotion was, anger, love, or regret. Let's create this moment now. Touch dad's face. He's aged. Touch dad's eyes. And your body, and this is the skill now. Remember we created the aftershave? I want you, as you touch dad's face and eyes, age him that old that he's in a wheelchair and he almost doesn't know who you are. But as you touch, you can smell the aftershave. You can smell the stuff you created, and touch the parts of the face that remind you of you. I can now smell that aftershave. Touch, and I want you to do what the script says. His eyes mist over, but you have no clue what's behind it. This person is so old, they can't express what they feel when they see you. So once again, touch them. Touch their shoulder, touch their hands, touch their hands, really touch their hands. And I want you to put their hands in your hand and realize that this person worked so hard. They created the mirror in there. They paid for the mortgage in there. So now we've created two little worlds. I've created the world where I did shaving or makeup, and I've created the old person sitting there. When I look in my mirror, here's my mirror right now, wherever yours is, I can reflect to see that person. So at the bottom right of my corner, and do whatever you need to do for yourself, because that adds, as long as it makes logical sense for you. If I look now at the bottom right of my mirror, I can see my dad sitting in the chair way down there, alone. And look what that starts to do, just that word alone. Because here I am shaving, ready to go on with my life and my career, leaving this person behind. I'm not thinking emotions. Will it trigger emotions? That's irrelevant to us. The point is, I'm not thinking result. I'm just thinking, oh my God, I'm leaving this person alone. I'm going off to do my thing, and I'm leaving them behind. Look how the lines now aren't coming from the page. And I could repeat this whole process. I could say, once again, that night, I left my father's house forever. That night that he was alone, or that night that they were making a great dinner. You'd be amazed how many connections you could have. I'll show you something else now. Let's go to what we call a negative night now. Right? You're in your sink again. Mom and dad disagree with your choice to go in that direction of life. I want you to touch the sink. This time it's dirty. There's hair on the sink. Pick it up. Your makeup is used. Drop it in the bin. Your towel is wet. Everything is open. There's a mildewy smell coming from somewhere. The faucet is dripping all the time. Your brush has hair in it. And now let's look at something. Look at your chin again, or whatever it is, body parts that remind you of your person. And now we're going to feed it what we call in a negative way. I could look at my hands. Remember earlier I said that my hands remind me of my grandmother and I admire her for how hard she worked. I could now look in my hands in my mirror, my fingers, to make it more specific. Hand is general, finger is not. And now I could say to myself, yes, that woman worked hard. But big shit. I mean, what the fuck did she achieve? She's not in the Guinness Book of Records. She was a peasant, no education. She could have been smarter. She could have done something else. She could have picked a different husband. Could have. So now I feel like I'm from a line of nothing. My family lineage is nothing. And all of a sudden I look in the mirror and I start not feeling so great. Here I am in this freaking house. Big shit, it's a fucking house. Other people made empires. This family didn't. And now I want you to hear mom and dad not having an amazing dinner, but arguing amongst themselves and saying what a disappointment you are. Talking about how you didn't listen to them, you didn't do your schooling, you didn't follow the path they wanted you. And you're just like everyone else in the family. Not only I hear them screaming, I hear them belting on the table. Bang, bang, bang. Now, you guys keep hearing that and stay with me for a quick second. And I want you to understand this. Remember we talked earlier about making everything physical. Right now, I can hear the mom and dad people in the other room, correct? And they're arguing and they're slamming the table. Imagine I'm here and they're completely in the other room. Once again, with acting, we try and get as many things personal and physical. If I imagine dad banging on the table saying my son's, a dreamer, that lands, doesn't it? I can also imagine his fist doing this. It's not literal. He's sitting in the other room. But it's another positive thing. So as I hear my dad slamming on the table going, my son's a dreamer, I also feel a punch here. Because now it makes it in the body. You'd be amazed. Next time I feel a punch here, I'd remember dad being negative about me. So I hear dad talking. And I want you now, while you're doing this, this is created. This is right here. There's my camera. There's my chin. I want you to imagine, I'm going to turn right now, and I'm going to imagine myself in the other room. And you don't have to scream. You can make a sound. Dad is sitting there at the table, slamming the table, saying what a fucking loser you are or what a dreamer you are. And I want you can scream out loud. You don't have to. I'm choosing not to because they're filming another room. I can just make a sound, but or I'm just standing there and you're screaming at dad saying, no, motherfucker, this is what I want to do with my life. I'm not a failure. I'm not this. I'm not that. And you scream and scream. And now go back to the mirror and realize I usually do right hand positive, left hand negative. Now it's on the left hand side of the mirror and someone's written something negative. Not someone, you know exactly who wrote something negative about you. That person in the other room. And you decide, if I stay in this house, I'm going to suffer. This will always be me. I will always be negative. They didn't even bother to clean up. Do you even deserve it? Look in the mirror and go, no, I don't deserve it. And once again now, while you're doing this, I want you to go back in the other room. See, once you create both worlds, you can go in and out quite quick, in and out quite quick, in and out quite quick. I want you to now go to the other room, the living room, and start yelling. And imagine, just for the sake of it, you grab this person by the hair and just go, fuck. And now we're back in the mirror. I want you to open your hands and look at all the hair in the mirror. Look at the hair. And decide that this night, tonight, after I rip this person's hair out, I'm going, I'm leaving. And say the line that night, tonight's the night I'm leaving. I'm going to take my shit and get out of here. I'm going to look at my hands and say, fuck you, Grandma. Who cares if you work so hard? Foolish woman. That night I'm leaving. And now I'm going to go to the top right. All of a sudden, I visualize myself on the top right of my street block, and I look at my dad. I could literally hear their voice from down there, and I'm feeling the punch over here. Da, da, da. And leave with shame. First right, second left. This time you went all the way to California. California for me, what was equivalent for you? Did you move a block down the road? Even if you didn't physically move, did you go to your bedroom? But there's a massive difference between you and that person. Once again, it doesn't have to be literal. It's got to be the same, but not literal. And now let's do the same thing. Cut to 20 years later now. Same words. Recreate the top left window, the top left mirror. Touch it. And this time, after 20 years of you pursuing your career, whatever it is, was it worth it? Was it worth it? Was it worth you not talking to this person for 20 years? Touch the top of the mirror and look and saying, he's a dreamer. Look at their aftershave. They've still got it. Oh my God, they've still got their fucking aftershave here, and smell it and realize that this person's done for the last 20 years of their life. They've sat there working and paid off this mortgage. And that's the extent of their life. This is what Death of a Salesman. You could do the entire play, by the way, just by using this exercise, believe it or not. Try it. There's a wonderful monologue there for Biff when he's talking about the father or to the father. And you can change it. Could be male or female. You know what I'm saying? Try doing that monologue with this scenario. It's very powerful. And then whenever you're ready, where he talks about, you know where I've been the last few years, blah, 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 all that stuff. Look at it. And now I want you to go back to creating Dad. Here he is. Create Dad's hair. Only this time, remember, you ripped a part of his hair out. Touch it. You actually, there hasn't been much growth there. And this time he can't. Once again, like the script says, he fell into a complete and speechless senility with his eyes misting over. And I want you to see his nostrils pinch. And in that nostril pinch, which is in the script, it says right here, listen to the script once again. All his life centered in his burning eyes. When I would visit him and we would sit and look at each other, his eyes would mist over and his nostrils would pinch back with emotion. But I never could learn what the emotion was, anger, love, or regret. That's what's in the script. I could be thinking forgiveness or not. Did he forgive you for leaving? Did he forgive you for pulling his hair out? Did he forgive you for not calling him for 20 years or not? And if you explore forgiveness, it'll feed the words one day. If you explore non-forgiveness, In his mind, he wants to get up and rip your fucking hair out and punch you across the face, but he can't because he's old. Make a sound as you work. The lines would come out completely different now. And then we're going to jump to the pinnacle of this speech. Here it is. One day, sitting in his wheelchair and staring without comprehension at the television, he died alone. Let's go through that line now. Here he is. You've ripped his hair out 20 years ago. There's no growth. Touch his hair, touch his arms, and say those lines. We'll say them together. As you're touching that person. One day, which day? Let's make it his birthday. See, it's not just one day. It's not any day. Let's make it. Here he is. It's his birthday. And there's no one here. Look around this whole house as you're touching him and realize, where have all the celebrations gone? Where have all the parties gone for this man? Now he's alone, watching TV. What TV would your dad watch? Once again, don't be general with any of your choices. None of them. Watch the TV. It's on. He's been spending 20 years watching this shit. Touch his hand. And the line is, sitting alone in his wheelchair, staring without comprehension. He's looking at you and doesn't have a clue who you are. And his nostrils pinch back with emotion. And he died. And in the script it says, without even an orange in his hand. It doesn't have to be literal. But if you imagine an orange in his hand and he died without it, what does that mean for you? Did your dad die without seeing you blossom? Did your dad die without understanding your career? Did your dad die without you getting married, having kids, settled down, whatever that feeds you? But he didn't get what he wants. And it says death ends a life, but it does not end a relationship. Reach over and embrace him as he just died. And realize you'll never get to make up. You'll never get to apologize. I'm touching his chest right now. And now leave him there and go back to the mirror. Touch the mirror. I can see him in the bottom right corner of my screen. And the lines will come out completely differently. And now I want you to pack up your stuff. We'll take 3 things. Take your hairbrush as you look in the mirror. Take your dad's watch. It's right there. And as you pick it up to take it, my mind went to 2 directions. Now remember, which one feeds you is up to you. I could pick it up and take it because he gave it to me. And I would feel good. I would accept it. Or I could pick it up and make the choice that he didn't give it to me. I'm stealing it. I'm stealing from my own father. Like a thief, I'm going to leave this house tonight. So tonight, I'm leaving like a thief. Say the words, I left my father's house forever. I'm never going to come back here. He died without an orange in his hand. I didn't even give him an orange in his hand. I didn't give him what he wanted. And I'm never coming back here. And leave. We're going to let go of this exercise. We've got a couple more to do. Guys, I just took a 1-hour exercise that takes years to develop, and we did it in, 30 minutes. It's consistency. You can build this up. If you did this again on your own for half an hour, you'll fall apart. You need to spend, let's try 40 minutes a day. Do this 3 or 4 times a week. And don't know which path you're going to go to. Smell things. Go there. And the other thing that's very hard to do as an actor, once you understand this for sensory work, this is what it comes down. It's our job to believe that every single time I leave this house, I'm leaving for the last time. Where our brain goes, I got another take, I got another performance. So then we just piss that one away. Every single time you leave, you're leaving this house. Every single time you see dad dying, You see they're dying again. Every single time you say goodbye to them, you're saying goodbye to them for the last time. Because if you don't understand that, then you're doing it casually. You're doing it like it's an acting exercise. And if you do any of this like it's an acting exercise, that's all it will be. Your body won't believe it. It's real. That's the skill. He really did die in front of you. He really did die without you saying goodbye and without healing it. And he really didn't give you the watch. You took it, which will feed a whole line, whether I took it or gave it. Those little adjustments, I want you all to understand, and if there's any directors listening out there, you see how it could all feed the words differently. It could all feed the connection, the meaning behind the words differently. That's why I could do 20, 30 different takes if I wanted to, feeding it different direction. And I'll get a completely different result. I'm not mimicking. I'm rediscovering. That's a big picture of why we do sensory work. You got me? Let that exercise go. Because right now what I'm doing is throwing different sensory exercises at you so you understand left or right. I'm going to have some water. Now what I want you to do, water. I want you now to sit down. We'll stand up eventually. New exercise completely. Let Dad go. Bye-bye, Dad. I want you now to create someone in front of you that you have unfinished business with. What I mean by that is they've done something to you. Okay? So sit down in your chair and they're there. Now, when I say this, and just so you guys know, I did this in class all week. And I said to people, I'll leave you alone to work. Most people, for instance, most people right now, if I said to you, there's a person in front of you that you have unfinished business with, most of you, what you're doing is just thinking. If you take away anything from this lovely class today, always remember, think like a chef. A chef doesn't just start cooking by throwing onions and garlic and all that stuff in his food. They clean, they get the ingredients ready. So I just said, create a person in front of you, and most people look at me for a second doing this, or they're doing this. They're creating the person just with their mind. And that's not enough. You have to reach out and touch that person. I'm not saying it feels good to touch the person. But right now, imagine that that person is frozen in time. So by touching, you're able to sustain it longer. So while you're talking to imaginary space over here, if someone was to walk in front of you, if you're on a film set, and bombard around you, you're still here. It's easier to connect. So whenever you're ready, I'm creating now someone that's done something to me. They've hurt me in some way. I want you to close your eyes, touch their shoulders. I'm going to stand up for this. You can stand up if you like. Touch their, you might not feel like it, but touch it anyway. Touch their forehead, touch their hair. Touch, touch, touch. And then touch their shoulders and touch their hands. Now, this is what else I want you to do. This is what we say about what really, and I want you to understand this, we're doing all this shit to make you great actors, not good actors. Here's the difference now between a good actor and a great actor. I just said, pick a person that's done something bad to you, hurt you in a certain way, and you created them. I didn't say where you created them, because that matters. Whatever this person did or say, where was it? Remember we said in the past, I know in one past class we said place matters. If you were at school and they picked on you, be in the schoolyard. If it's a partner of yours and they cheated on you, envision the hotel they did it at. Envision where they cheated on you. If someone said something nasty to you, where are you? Because now it's different. Now it's what Stella Adler used to say, heightened. So now that you're sitting there, like we've created the person, the hair, the shoulders, and the hands, I also need to take a few seconds or minutes or hours, or as long as it is required, to create the place. So create the place that this person said this at. Is it a schoolyard? Touch the fence, touch the building, touch the swing. Is it a bedroom? Touch the window, touch the door. So now I've got this person in this environment here. And they just said something that hurts. Touch them. Go from opening your eyes to closing your eyes, opening your eyes to close your eyes. And once again, we're not going to give away any private information now. If we had a script, we could use the script. But we don't have a script for now. Or I could even pick the script, right? But I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to give you a word from a script. The word is "you hurt me." That's all. As you're touching this place and as you're creating the place and the person, just say the word "you hurt me." They're active now. They're alive, so to speak. Keep touching them. And I want you all to look at me as you're doing this. Right now I'm touching someone's shoulders, someone's, I'll turn to the right here, someone's shoulders, someone's elbows, someone's hands. If there was an actor standing there, I may or may not be able to do this. Depends on the circumstance of the script, but it doesn't have to be literal also. I can envision I'm touching them. See my hand here? I can envision I'm touching their hands, their shoulders, right here. The smallest touch matters. You do whatever you can to create this person. So now as I'm touching this, today we're going to go to what we call towards a positive experience first. I need to hear or feel what they did. Let's assume they said something to you. I want you to say that word, hear them say that word. Let's assume they did something to you. They're doing this, pushing you on the shoulder. Let's go to extreme. Let's assume that you're in a relationship with this person and they cheated with someone. Right now, they're in that bed or in that hotel room cheating with someone. And I just want you to touch them and say the words, "you hurt me. You hurt me." And I want you all to understand this. This is the golden ticket. If it was Lee Strasberg, you'd say, find a real scenario. If it was Stel Adler, she'd say, what if they both work? Explore both of them. Because that's what we're able to do this. That's the actor's job. So I want you now to create that person, and they're doing it, and just say, "You hurt me. You hurt me." And touch them. And if you had other lines from a script, you'd be amazed at how they come out. And I want you to hear, as you're going to say the lines, "You hurt me." As you're going to say the lines, "You hurt me." I'm going to give you 30 seconds. I'll time it. And you can make a sound and go in between sound and words and hearing. I want you to hear them accept your apology. I'll just guess for 30 seconds, not about the actual time. I want you to hear them accept your apology. So we're going to go for 30 seconds. Let's go. Tell them you hurt me. Tell them why. If you're private in your room, lock yourself out. I don't want to share private information, but just say, "You hurt me." And I want you to hear them say, "Yes, you're right." Get what you want out of them. And if I had different lines from a script, I could say whatever script I like, but they finally accepted it. Embrace them, or they embrace you. Feel it. And the lines would come out like this: "You hurt me. You hurt me." And I could add those lines from the script. "And that night I left the house forever. That night cost me so much. That's why I left. And you hurt me." And the lines would come out to some degree. Let's use the word comforting, acceptance, all that stuff. Same scenario. Let's go back. Same person, same place. Now, don't just bulldoze. See, if this was another take right now, I would need a few seconds once again to recreate that person. Recreate the place wherever you are. Recreate their shoulders. This is the skill, folks. Remember, people just go, everyone can do it. No, they can't. It's a skill. Recreate their shoulders. Recreate their hands, their arms, their face. Hear what you want. What is it the person did? If they did something, they're doing it again. If they said something to you, they picked on you, they called your name, or they said something about you that you heard. They called you a loser, they called you whatever you want to hear. I want you to hear it come out of the mouth. Only this time, they're not forgiving. And they just spat in your face. I want you to say the lines again, you hurt me. And let's take the lines, you hurt me, and you're going to blend it with this lines. And that's why that night I left your house forever, or our house, whatever it is. So let's go with that one. Say you hurt me and they just spat. Say you hurt me and they just punched you in the shoulder again. Say you hurt me and they literally did exactly what they did last time. And they keep, I can hear them say things now. Just say, you can scream. I'm not screaming because there's other people in the other room. But you can do it. Now, once again, based on the circumstances. If this was a public place, it would be different. In a restaurant, if the scene took place in a restaurant, it would come out differently. Touch them and tell them that you hurt me. Tell them you hurt me and tell them why, and say the lines, you hurt me, this happened, and that's why that night I left your house forever, or I left our place, I left our life forever, and I'm not coming back. And they're not going to give you what you want. For the next 30 seconds, and I will time this, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to convince them to see if they hear you. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Where am I? Let me find my clock. I'm going to give you 30 seconds, right? To start. Go. 30 seconds to convince them. You got 30 seconds. Go. Tell them that what really hurt. Tell them what he meant to you. They're not hearing you. They're walking away. Grab them, tell them to sit down and listen to you. Tell them, if I was in the room with you, I should hear you now begging. Tell them to stop. Tell them what I meant to you. And you've got 10 seconds left. 10 seconds left. 10 seconds left. 5 seconds left. I hope you're expressing through the words of the script. You hurt me, tell them why. They just left. Now, I can't see any of you. But I got a chance. I got a suspicion that if I could see all of you, I want you all to look at the screen now. Most of you would be doing this. You'd be standing there going, yeah, you hurt me, you did this to me, you did this to me. That's what we call good. I could also have that scenario if you're ordering pizza. Listen, you ordered pizza and I didn't get the one I want. It's not what Stella Adler used to say, heightened. And when we say heightened, our body goes, oh, fuck, that's over the top. And if I was to do an over the top reaction, let's assume this is the person. If I was to grab them and imagine smashing them against the fucking wall here, I would do that at the beginning. I would be acting it. No, I'm acting. So the action is up here, but the internal stuff is down here. So now there's a disconnect between what I've created internally and what I'm showing externally. And that seems like it's overacting. So what happens to our mind and our body, we act out up here. I'm angry at you. You've hurt me. And the moment I finish the words, because I haven't created the internal stuff correctly, I don't believe it. So I go, oh, fuck, okay. Why am I screaming? Why am I holding them? And we lose it. So if the director was to do another take right now, saying, let's do another one, but then they sense that you're not quite there. So they say, give me more energy. Now I'm just giving more energy. So now I'm pushing. I'm acting, not supported by the internal stuff. And it seems fake. Shit. So now the poor director doesn't have a clue what to do because they don't understand our work. For most of them, that's true. So they say, give me more energy. Give me what you did the first take. And now you go, fuck, I don't know what I did the first take. So now I'm going to act bigger with more energy and act more. It's what we call neck up shit, and you could spot it a mile away. Until you create the internal stuff to match the external stuff, it will always seem over the top. But you have to get comfortable at going there. This is why we do sensory work in class. So the body is neutral. We say tweak it, tweak it, tweak it. So now let's try something. I'll move the chair out the way because I don't want to hurt anything. Let's assume now I want you to really pick up this person And when they leave in the last 30 seconds, I want you to overdo your choice. I want you to grab them. I want you to sit them back down in the chair. I want you to pick them up and shove them against the wall and tell them how badly they hurt you. Because if they leave, you are never going to get your apology. Ever. And remember now, what did I say earlier? This is why we do these stupid exercises. Your job now, your responsibility and your skill are to create this as real. Meaning, you believe that once they go, there's no second chance. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Here we go. You got 30 seconds to get what you want out of this person. Remember the space? While I'm talking now, you shouldn't be getting ready for it. You should be creating your space, creating that betrayal. Let's call it the betrayal. They keep betraying you. If they cheated on you, they're still doing it right in front of you. If they lied, they're still lying. If they told someone something about you, they're saying it to that person. Peter's an asshole or whatever. And no matter what you do, no matter how much you grab them, they're not going to fucking stop. So you got 30 seconds. Don't just start screaming. Keep boiling the internal stuff. And one way to boil it is they spit at you. They poke you. They keep saying the line. They keep doing the action of the betrayal and laughing at you. Let's go. 30 seconds. Go, go, go. I want to hear the words. I want you to hear them and grab them, motherfucker. Don't let them go. Grab them by the throat. Shove them up against the wall and tell them how much it means. They betrayed you. Your life changed because of that. It wasn't just a neutral thing. Grab them and say the lines, you fucking hurt me. And they're doing it again right now. Grab them by the throat again. They're punching you right here. They're spitting in your face right here. They're laughing at you as you're doing all this. Don't let them get away with it. That was 30 seconds right there. I want you all to take this in. At what stage were you conscious of the camera? At what stage were you conscious of how the line comes out? I hear actors talking about that, the director said, I'm not connected to the lines. That's because you're fucking listening to yourself. Great actors don't. Great actors are talking to that person. I don't care where the camera is. I don't care about anything. I'm talking to that person and they're not going to leave today. And that's how you, without thinking result, you have more energy into your performance. You have more connection. Now, if there was a real actor here, another actor, I would have them sit in front of me. Let's assume this is the shittiest actor in the world. I could be an asshole and say, because they came from certain schools I know. That would be great, wouldn't it? Anyway, let's add that on top of that. Not only this person's hurt you, but they've gone to that shitty school that you hate, right? We'll add that on there. So now, look what happens now, guys. You shouldn't film with me. I'm always cracking jokes. So now what's happened is this. Not only this person's hurt me, if I'm working with a shitty actor and they give me nothing, their lines are dry and boring, even that will feed me. Because you're going, motherfucker, I'm talking to you, hurt me, and you're not taking it in. So your job is not just to have a pre-programmed result, which it's not what we're doing. We're taking them in. Because if I did this scene with 3 different actors, my reaction would be based on what they give me. So if they give me like a nonchalant response, it would feed me more. I'd go, what the fuck? You're not taking it in. But the audience sees me connecting to them. What you can't do on a set, it's not your job, is to tell them how to say the lines. I hear this all the time. What you shouldn't do, it's a complete waste of your time, is to run lines during a fucking play. Absolute waste of your fucking time. What you should do is argue with this person and say, I told you. And then next performance, what happens? In your mind, I told you again last night how much you hurt me, and you're still not hearing me. See, that's not mimicking what I did last night, is it? That's rediscovering this incident again today, which will feed me. And every single performance that I'm on stage, every single night, I'm trying to convince this person. And my body now will trust me because I'll go there. I'm not mimicking what I did the previous take. I don't give a shit when I'm going to hold them. I could hold them on the 3rd line or the 5th line. It's irrelevant to me. I'm in the moment. Once again, for you directors out there, your job is to tell the actor, say goodbye to this person, you're never going to see them. Or Stella Adler used to say to this actor, make sure they don't leave the room till you get what you want, which is an apology. And they should tell that actor, make sure you leave and don't apologize. That's different. And there's a shitload of books, by the way, written after Stella's time that have these same scenarios. but it came from her. So let's all give credit to her, Stella, right? So if you read that someone in an acting book, realize it came from this amazing acting teacher. You're not leaving, you're not letting them leave till they give you an apology. They're not leaving with an apology. That's what we call something negative and positive. Now let's try something else. That's pretty easy. Not easy. I want you now to sit in your chair over here or stand up. Once again now, let's see how much you've learned. I'm not in your room. I can't see you. I now want you to create the opposite of this. Now I want you to create someone in front of you that you've hurt. Please remember, none of this shit that we do is therapy. They're just real ingredients that we're using, or potentially real ingredients. What I mean by that is, I'll give you an example of a potential. If I saw a person and I thought something, those ingredients are real. I didn't say it, I just thought about it. But now for acting purposes, I'm going to take those real ingredients and do what if I said it? What if I said it and that person heard it? The ingredients are real, so my body gets it. So now there's someone in front of you. Golden rule now. Let's see how much you've learned. Are you creating them? Touch their shoulders, touch their hand, touch their face, touch their hair. You hurt this person. You've done it now. While you're doing all this, please understand now, you've got to make a sound. Touch their face, touch their shoulders. I want you to hear them talk to you now. And now your script is, I'm sorry. You can say, I'm sorry, I'm anything to that effect. But while you're touching them now, and now you are at the place that you did the damage. If it's someone you said, let's assume I said something about someone in a bar, I'm at the bar. If I'm at someone's house and I said something, if you cheated on someone, you're at wherever you cheated. If you betrayed someone at school, you're at that room, at the schoolyard, someone you picked on. We've all picked on someone, we've all been picked on. Let's get it straight, right? So now be in front of that person, and as you're touching them, you're hearing them say, I hate your guts, and why you hurt me, and what you said was damaging, what you did really hurt them. And guess what they're doing while they're doing this? You see this? Now they're pushing you on the shoulder, and you deserve to be pushed on the shoulder. And look at them getting ready to leave. Now they're getting ready to leave. They're getting to leave so badly. They're so upset by what you've done. And I want you to hear them say things. What you did in your mind was simple. You called them something. But how strongly that affected them? Did they quit dreaming? Did they quit their acting career? Did they change their course? Did they leave the city? Were they suicidal? Did they start eating and drinking because of what you said? Did they lose a certain self-esteem because of you? And I want you to genuinely hear how much you hurt them. I can hear them yelling at me. I want you to feel the vibration of the scream on your face. Make it specific right there. And now they're getting ready to leave. And I'm going to give you 30 seconds to try and get them to forgive you. 30 seconds. I will count this. I'll put my clock up here. Right? There we go. Now you can ad-lib. You can say whatever you like, but feed it through the lines, I'm sorry. As they're leaving, literally stop them. Go for it. Beg them for forgiveness. Tell them you're really sorry. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to do that. I should have been more honest. I should have been clean. They're telling you, wait till the world sees your colors, your true colors, and just apologize and acknowledge. Acknowledge. Tell them, put their bag down. They're taking their bag. They're gonna. If you leave here, it's over. If they leave you, you will never ever get to forgive them. Oh my God, it's already 5 seconds to go. 4, 3, 2, 1. They left. I'm going to try this again 3 different times. This time, go for it. I want you to stop them. I want you to tell them how genuine sorry you are. I want you to tell them you didn't mean it. Tell them you did say it and you did it, but right now you're wrong. You've got 15 seconds, and in 5 seconds, There we go. You got 2 seconds. You got 10 seconds after this. They just forgave you. They just forgave you. They said they appreciate you. Embrace them. Embrace them. Say thank you and tell them, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I could add any lines from a script I want. Point is, I'm genuinely accepting this person's apology. There's peace in the room. Let's reset this. Now you got 30 seconds. This time, I will decide the last minute if they forgive you or not. And remember, we talked about the grand emotion. Don't just sit there going, I hate you. If someone, this is our job, please understand this. If what I did hurt someone so badly, it's not like they're just going to leave. What if they just go jump off a cliff? What if it's someone that you really give a shit about? Child, spouse, parents. But you can't let them leave without them accepting your apology. So now do whatever you like. This is what directors call bigger. I'm saying more urgent. You can't let them leave. If you need to rip them away from the door, and if you've got to force them to sit in the chair and grovel and beg for forgiveness, I'm going to overact it so you get it. And somewhere in that overacting, boiling what you've actually done, the two kind of start to go for it. So we're going to go for this now. You got 30 seconds. The moment I say go, go. Beg them. Tell them to stop. Tell them to sit down. Put them in the chair. Please forgive them. Ask for forgiveness. Once again, touch their head, touch your shoulder. Forgive them. They're going to get back up. Get back up. Show them how sorry you are. Say the lines. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Say whatever the lines are. Put them down on the ground. Please, please forgive them. They're taking it. You know they're going to leave. You've got 10 seconds. Stop them. Yell out to stop. Don't let them go through the front door. And they just left. They just left. And you didn't get what you want. You didn't get to convince them to accept your apology. Now, these are 4 different, very, very basic scenarios. We could spend an hour on each one of these. And it's not a matter of just going, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, over and over again. That's boring. It's a matter of spending 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour before you start the sorry. Let's assume I called someone a loser. It would start by me saying, yes, I did say you're a loser. Yes, I did say you're hopeless. Yes, I did. So you then do that. Or let's assume someone called you a loser and you're in high school or primary school. You stand in the backyard. The person sits in front of you and they start calling you and you feel like shit. And nowhere during any of these 4 scenarios were you aware of the camera, were you aware of how the lines came out. I was aware of them getting up to go to the door. I was aware of them hurting till I set them back down here. I was aware that they're packing the stuff and they're never coming back here again. And they threw their watch at me or their ring at me or whatever I've given to them. A photo, I could imagine them cutting up a photo and cutting it in half and leaving. Do you guys understand all this shit? I hope so. I'm going to try one final exercise with you guys. We're going to leave in about 35 minutes. I'm going to try one final exercise, and then I'm going to talk about the online course, and I'll tell you guys what we've decided and where we're heading, okay? And then we'll finish this lovely round, and we'll go from there. Final exercise for the day. Let me drink some coffee. Once again, same skill. All this is similar skills for now. I want you can sit in your chair, you can close your eyes. I want you now to create either a childhood bedroom or a childhood place, a living room, whatever. I want you to go to the earliest memory you had of you first deciding to become an actor. For me, I'm going to pick my bedroom. So if it's a bedroom for you, go with me. Let's all go to our bedroom, and I'll tell you what we'll do. We can mix and match. Right now, here you are. Sit down in your chair. Imagine you're sitting down in your bed, as we've done in the past. See, we've done these aspects of this in the past. One hand, put your hand on your pillow. This is your bed. and the other hand on your bedspread. Right now, remember what we said about being a chef and creating your ingredients? This is one ingredient that's in the bedroom, a bed. That's why that's called a bedroom. But it's your bedroom. And as you touch that, look around the room and look at things that inspired you. Things that made you a dreamer, not things that don't feed you. I mean, look at the wall behind me. We could all look at every single one of these and be inspired. There's Shakespeare right there. There's Les Miserables right there. A bunch of actors back there. Broadway, right behind me. How can I not inspire you? I can use part, believe it or not, I can blend that to my bedroom, but I want you to right now to go there. And while you're doing this, I'm still creating my room. I'm going to walk over and create my mirror here. Here's my mirror, or my window, sorry. This is my window to my outside yard. It happens to be right in front of the camera, which is perfect. I'm going to go over here. I'm doing this very basically, very briefly. There's my door. It's closed. This is my bedroom door as a kid. It's closed. It's locked. I'm home alone. This is the land and place where you dreamed. In here somewhere, you changed course in life and you decided that you want to be an actor. And you felt amazing and you felt free and things were floating around and you felt amazing because in here you gave yourself permission to dream. So I'm saying, give yourself permission to dream right now. Take in that moment and imagine anywhere in this room. If you had a TV, great. If you didn't, imagine a TV screen somewhere here. And on that TV screen is playing, go back to the earliest memory you had of a film or something that made you want to be an actor. Look at it. And I want you to pose. I want you to pretend to be that person. If it's a song and a dance, dance it. I know what I have in mind. One of my favorite films. Be in that film. Act out as a kid in your room, that film. So right now, I want you to be that dreamer. And take in the energy. And somewhere in here, there's a mirror. There's a mirror right here. Take in the energy. Look at the freedom of you. Act out, your dreamer. Act out the earliest thing. And look all around your room. Put imaginary posters and things like that. Things that feed you. And go, wow, here I am. This was the place of dreams. What did you visualize back then? How did you visualize your career going? How did it seem? Look around you. By the way, I could add all the lines of the script. I could take the lines from here. Remember the lines? Let's just throw these lines out there. That night I left my father's house forever. This is the night you're leaving. With all your dreams in hand. And look how the lines will come out now. My God, I'm going to leave this house. I'm going to go soar the winds and become an actor and pursue my career. Look at how the lines are coming out already. I'm not thinking result. I'm feeding it by all this. I mean, look, what a fucking bedroom wall. This is a bedroom fucking wall for an actor. This is what you see when you see your wall. When your mom and dad come in, they see an off-white color, the most popular color for a fucking bedroom. But this is what we see. We're fucking dreamers. I want you to be in your dream. I want you to be in your dream when you see over here. And for a split second, let's try this. Not for a split second, for a few seconds. I want you to imagine you're on stage. And I want you to feel the roar of the crowd. Take in that energy. Feel the energy go. You just finished an amazing performance. Just finished. Take it all in. Take in the energy. And say the words of the way. If you had a script right now, my God, look at this stance. It's a dream. Something fed you to do this. Something. If anyone ever asks you why you wanted to be an actor, don't tell them. It's such a personal thing. It puts us on the spot and then we become, you got to get the answer right. Fuck that. The answer is right because it works for you. It's no one's business why. There's no pressure. There's nothing worse than going to an acting class and going, tell me why you want to become an actor. And then they ask the person next to you, who automatically looks better. And you go, fuck off. And they say, and all of a sudden you go, oh my God, they got the right answer. No, they don't. It's your answer. You earned it. It's private. Don't share it with your mom, dad, brother, sister. It's our job. But the point is, there's a light there. There is something in that decision that has changed the course of all our lives. It definitely has changed mine. And if the dream, Stella Adler used to say, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. If the dream isn't big enough to make you make that shift, you're scared. You're scared of your choice to voice, I'm an actor, is keeping you still. You're fearful of what other people think is keeping you living this dream. So every now and then you have to reconnect to it and go, this is why I'm an actor, and feel the roar of the crowd. Because when you leave this room, folks, you're going to go out there and face so much rejection. And you're going to hear this voice going, oh, they're right. I'm too old to do this shit. Oh, they're right. I'm too short to do this shit. Oh, they're right. I'm too fat to do this shit. I'm too ugly to do this shit. I'm too good looking to this shit. I'm too tall to do this shit. I can give you whatever you like. It will stick. Because you allow it to. Until you become successful, then everyone becomes your best friend. And they go, we believe in you. I'm like, no, it starts with you. I want you to feel that roar again. And yes, you can do this. You've promised yourself, you've dedicated your life to this. It requires work. It requires commitment. So look around your space and look at little things on the wall. Look at a note you wrote. Right now, I'm going to put an imaginary note I wrote when I was a kid about your acting. You wrote it when you were 10 or 5 or 9 or 12 or 15. But there it is. You believed in yourself. And let's put something on this wall. You believed in yourself. There it is right there. There's a photograph of you dancing around, singing that silly song, but you believed in yourself. And look outside your window. Look outside the yard. It's nice and sunny and beautiful. And you believed in yourself. And look over here. Oh my God, I can hug the TV. My TV happens to be here. Be in that world. Be in that world. I remember watching Wizard of Oz recently because of COVID-19. My son has started doing film night, which I fucking love. Every Friday night we have film night now. We watch films as a family. Isn't that great? But we watch Wizard of Oz. The last time I saw Wizard of Oz, I was his age. My God. That film's been in my life for fucking 50 years. And it's influenced me every time. It takes me to the world of make-believe and dreams. So when I see the Wizard of Oz, it's probably somewhere here, my God, for crying out loud. There it is, wicked, right there. What are the chances? This means something to me. Because it's a world of imagination. And I could go into that world and lose myself and pretend to be into the fucking world of Wizard of Oz. And you become childish and you play. Don't lose that sense of childish and playing. Because if you lose it, you may as well become an accountant. That sense of play is needed. And it needs to be redefined. You need to reconnect. You need to recharge your batteries with what made you want to do this. You got me? You need to recharge your batteries with what made you want to get to this to begin with. It's a long journey, folks. And we'll talk very soon because we're going to leave in like 20 minutes. But I want you guys to understand what we've been trying to do here. For the last, remember, let's be honest, we've done this for 3 months now. It's a big, big commitment from people here and everything. And I don't know how many of you joined the journey, but if you were here from day one, we've spent 3 months together trying to teach you skills to make more of this journey a reality so that the gap between where you want to be in your career and where you are gets closer and closer. It's all about this spark, The initial spark that made you want to become an actor is one you should always tap into. This has nothing to do with acting work. This is, we do certain things for our own career, to learn to inspire yourself, to learn to recharge your own energy. I didn't plan this all today. I had no clue we're going to be. Just that they were shooting this, but it's perfect for what we're talking about. And if you want to see the value of that stuff, I want you now to recreate your own room again. Only this time, you want to see the value of this? I want you to sit back in your chair. I want you to touch your pillow again. And I want you to touch your bedspread again. And this time I want you to look around your room, but anything to do with acting has been deleted. All of a sudden, for me, the whole room just got black and white, just gray. It's raining outside. Get up. Where you had posters of things that influenced you, there's no poster now. What would you do like? What would you do with your life if I genuinely said no more acting? See, most of us have a plan B. Oh, well, I'll do this instead. Plan B is this. Plan C is I'll watch movies that inspire me. And I keep telling people, if you take anything away from what we've done the last 3 months, why the fuck do you have a plan B? Please understand me. There's only one choice you should allow yourself. Plan A and nothing less. Can you do it? Yes, you can. Do you have the skills? That's why we're here. To teach you certain skills. Do you believe in yourself? And I don't want you to believe in yourself what we call neck up. It's easy to do a weekend workshop as an acting teacher or to tell people, you look amazing. You should believe in yourself. And the actor goes, well, I do believe in myself. And then the moment they finish their sentence, there's an echo going, well, why the fuck do you believe in yourself? It's not enough to say, I believe in myself. You have to support that comment with the work. Because if you do one day of good acting, if you do one good day of writing, then when you say, I believe in myself, you go, fuck, I wrote a good page. I did a good scene. I did a good monologue. And it reinforces that statement. And then you actually start to feel good. So then you have more strength behind your choices as an actor. You have more commitment. You believe in yourself. So when you go to the audition and you face rejection, which is a big part of our world, you go, yeah, I just took a punch back, but I'm still fucking standing. And then you become more certain with your choices. As opposed to going there going, oh, I don't know, I'm not right for the role. They're better. Oh, I didn't do that fucking course. I should have done it. No, I don't believe I've already fucking sold the script away. They see that, they feel that. So it's part of our job as actors to reconnect to why we did this shit, to allow that creative flow without sounding fucking artsy-fartsy. Please understand that. But we need to do these things so you believe in yourself. And there's no plan B. The plan B will fall there by itself. Don't put it there. Your job is to win, and there's nothing wrong with winning. Your job is to go in that room. Sorry, I'm coughing. Your job is to go in the room and get the fucking role. Don't think ruthlessly. Don't think me above the other person. Just say, no, I'm doing my best I can to earn this role. Don't think better than them. Best I can. And until you start working at the best of your capacity, you'll never know how fucking good you could be. So it takes a commitment, a massive fucking commitment. This is a big part of why we're doing this shit. You got me? So look around the room with no acting. And whenever you're ready, I want you to look in the mirror. I'm going to put my mirror right here, right in front of the camera. I want you to look in the mirror, and your life has no acting. I want you to get ready for plan D. If you weren't an actor, what would you do for a day job? All of a sudden, I envision myself in this mass line of people going to some fucking 9-to-5 job. And they're good to pay the rent, but to live. Comb your hair. And now I want you all to understand something. Remember, we started this lovely workshop with that line, I left my father's house forever. I took the first right and the second left. This is why we do sensory work. I now want you to say these words. In your mind, this is what you're saying. That night, I left my career back forever. So grab your comb. Remember, we started doing makeup or shaving. Imagine you go into your day job, your 9-to-5 day job. It just pays the rent. And by the time you finish combing your hair, you'll have nothing to do with acting. And say the words, that's it, I'm done. I'm leaving my acting behind forever. I'm going to put on my dad's perfume or aftershave, and I'm going to join their world. I couldn't do it. After having a grandfather who worked his ass off and a grandmother who worked his ass off, I gave up. And that night I left my dream back forever. I'm going to say the words of the script, which is that night I left my father's house forever. What I'm thinking is that night I left my dream back forever. And now, remember earlier we created an old person, which was my dad or your dad. It's in the script. I want you now to create yourself when you're 80 or 90 or wherever you want to be. And I want you to touch your person's, it's a version of you at 90. But this is the version of you that never pursued the dream. And look at how beautiful our work is, folks. It says right here, when I would visit him, we would sit and look at each other. His eyes would mist over and his nostrils would pinch back with emotion, but I could never learn what the emotion was. Anger, love, or regret. One day sitting in his wheelchair, sitting without comprehension, staring, sorry, I'm coughing, staring without comprehension at the television. What did we say about great acting choices? What's on the fucking television? If it's a commercial, who gives a shit? I want you to plant, this is your skill now. I want you to plant a 90,000-year-old version of yourself, and in front of that TV, what else could it be but the original film that inspired you to become an actor? Because that's the best fucking choice. So now let's try this. Create a 90-year-old version of yourself. Shoulders, hands, hair, eyes, and in front of them, this person is watching a TV show or a film that inspired them, but they never pursued it. Heartbreaking. And now look into your eyes as a 90-year-old person and watch your eyes mist over and realize, embrace yourself and realize that this person in the wheelchair never pursued their dream. And say the lines that they died without an orange in the hand. And we know what the orange in your hand is. It's your career. This poor person sitting in the wheelchair this time around died without an orange, without following the career. Do you see how now we just did this whole script and the lines weren't literal? It wasn't me seeing dad on a chair. It was me seeing a version of myself that didn't pursue my dream. And I guarantee you, I know that that's a stronger choice. I did not know that coming into this exercise, by the way. That's truth. I found this. You understand now why we can do these exercises again and again and again and again and again, and we discover things. So now I'm on a film set, and I say, this is your chair. And while they're setting up the camera, instead of me being on Facebook and, you know, tagging myself, I'm creating the chair. I'm creating the 9-year-old. So when the camera's here and I say the lines, wow. Remember the golden rule. Someone said, why we lose roles to Philip Seymour Hoffman? Most people act sick. Philip Seymour Hoffman used to walk in, collapse, and be sick. Big choices. This is a big choice. Imagine your dream dying in this chair. Massive choice. Please understand all this shit. And then I need to talk to you about the course. Please understand this. No one, it's no one's job, it's no one's responsibility to tell you all these things. On the set, the director doesn't think like this. Some good ones do. The director thinks in terms of result. More energy, bigger, whatever. We take that information and go, how could I lean towards that result without thinking result? Just think bigger, stronger choices. That's a skill and a craft. And why we do relaxation and sensory and all this shit is so at the drop of a hat, I could go to father, son, child, whatever, because I got kids also, I can cut and paste and substitute. Your choices then sit longer in your body. They actually translate into the body. That's why we go, ah. It's not an intellectual choice. And to put all these choices, there's nothing worse, to put all these choices on your script, I'll think dad, think mom, it's fucking pointless. Till you have it in the body. That's why we've been sitting here for the last 3 weeks. Before we finish, I need to talk to you all. Class is done for the day. Let's talk now. We've been doing this. I'll tell you guys what we've come up with, and I hope it serves you guys. I hope it works. We've been thinking, we've done this for 12 weeks now, 13. I think today's 13 weeks. That's close to 3 months. It's 3 months of doing this stuff, and we've had a lot of support. We've had a lot of views. On average, we average anywhere from 600 people watching this to 2,000 people watching this. I don't care if we end up with one person, but you better be committed to doing this work. Not a week, a long time, years. I've got 4 people helping me create all this, right? My son, who lives in Arizona, is helping with all the technical stuff. Anik, who's here doing all the setup. Simon and Tim, who are here also, they help me with the setup. And they've been turning up every week for the last 4 weeks on a Thursday night. And now we need them to turn up every 2 nights. So here's what we've been doing. There's also a lot of stuff we've been filming. So what you guys understand, first thing is we can't keep doing it for free. They need to get paid. And I'll tell you guys what we've come up with. And I suck at promoting my shit. I'm no good at that shit. I can't, my fucking head shuts down. But this is the information we have to get across, right? Then we can do all the other stuff later. Here's the deal, guys. How we envision this. We've got already the first month. Think of it month by month. The next month, we've already pre-recorded relaxation, how to do it properly for a full 40 minutes. We've got basic exercises for the first month. And for each month from now on, we'll have coffee cup shaving, doing it at the neutral level. The neutral is just establishing it. And then after that, we add words like positive stuff, broken mirrors, you know, people saying, I hate your guts. And then we combine it to 2 or 3 monologues. We'll always explore 2 or 3 monologues. We'll add Shakespearean monologues. You could do this whole makeup stuff or shaving stuff with to be or not, whatever, Shakespearean monologues. That's part of the course. Pre-recorded information on you online. You can access it anytime you like, right? That's number 1. After shaving, we're adding this as we speak, like every week or 2, every month. I think it's going to be every month. So it goes month to month. So you guys, I give you a bunch of exercises and I say, master these for the whole month. I've got a schedule for you, a 3-day schedule or a 5-day schedule, so you understand how you do it. You always do relaxation. relaxation with one piece of sensory work, relaxation with one sensory exercise. And then you should do your writing, which we've spoken about. I haven't had the time to check in, but from now on, I will allow at least the last half hour of this online course to go over your stuff. You'll have to email me weeks in advance. Say, Peter, 3 weeks from now, I want to do my monologue. Peter, 3 weeks from now, I want to read the beginning of my script. So we need to organize that. We'll get better. So part of the online course is this, pre-recorded information. That will always be there. And we'll add stuff like 3 pieces of fabric, shower, sun, personal moments, private objects. They go on. But we'll always introduce them at the basic level, then with adjustments, and then with monologues. And you'll always have access to all those exercises back and forth. You'll always be able to go back to coffee cup. We'll develop your character work. Remember the photograph? I call him the Henry VIII kind of guy. Pre-recorded stuff. And also we'll talk about your writing. I will give you homework consistently to write. Please make this your life. It's not a hobby. So if you're not doing this minimum 3 days a week, then quit. Simple as that. So part of it is that we offer you that online pre-recorded stuff. The other part of this lovely package is that we also do this once a week. For now, we're doing it Saturdays at 2:30. Some parts of the world this works, some it doesn't. We will also find a time slot. It might take us a couple of weeks or so, and I can't have them turn up every week. I have to learn how to touch all this shit. I can't even fucking turn my own computer on. So we do it a different night to match up parts of the world also, but it's exactly the same class. If I was to teach this again on Monday, it would be exactly the same scenario. Feel free to join us both classes and learn what it's like not to mimic and to rediscover everything. That's another part. And the other thing I'd like to do, this makes it a little bit more complicated, is to invite you all to class. So when I teach one class, we have the camera there for 4 hours. So if we do this every single week, you do the online course for 2 hours. You do the pre-recorded classes for a week. 2-3 times a week, you do relaxation, sensory work, relaxation, sensory work, relaxation, character work, and you write for 3 hours a week, not 3 hours in a row, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour. Discipline. We talk about that. We've got videos already. So what we thought of, and guys, here's what we thought of, and please understand this. We thought of how much to charge, because there's a lot of people here and they need to get paid. They've been brilliant. It's amazing what people do for a cup of coffee. So what we thought of now is this. Originally, we thought of doing it for $30 a month. And here's what we thought of. It's $30 a month. For a year, that's 3/12 is $360 for a year, right? And I said, me, yours truly, I said, guys, why don't we knock $100 off that? Which comes to $260 for a year. And I'm not going to charge for the month of July. This is July now. It's July 4th today, by the way. Hi, all Americans. My family is all born there. So to my whole family, happy July 4th. We don't charge for the month. So if you subscribe now and join now, your term starts August 1st. And it will be good to July, the end of July next year. So $260 a year is not an unreachable amount. And even now with COVID and tough times, we all can manage $260. Believe it or not, guys, it comes to $5 a week. I think this class alone is worth $5 a week. It's a cup of coffee. And if you can't commit $5 a week to your career, I mean, then what? It's not going to happen. So the best deal we could come up with, and like I said, I get hives when I talk about money. I actually do. The best deal we could come up with is between now and the end of July. It's not one of these quick sales. You must answer by tonight. Fuck that shit. Between now and the end of July. And I don't understand the dynamics of this. My head goes, after this, someone will post a link. We thought $260 for the year. We'll leave that offer till the end of July, right? Which is $5 a year. So if you pay $5 a year, $5 a week, there you go. See, I'm already stuttering when it comes to money. So for $206 a year, which comes to $5 a week, you get to join us for 2 hours. And if we do 2 classes a week, you can join us both classes. Keep in mind, it'll be exactly the same work. You have access to the online material, which you should be dedicating to at least 6 to 8 hours a week, separate from this. And we'll also keep adding stuff like me, join you guys in class, and so forth. So when I finish here, I want to ask you all guys to do a few things. One is share this. Take this link, please share it on your Facebook page. We've been kind enough to get here for 3 weeks or 3 months. So the least, I think it's fair if you guys can share this. Say, guys, I've spent 3 months on this class. Please get to know it. If you want to stay with us, go online, follow the forms and whatever. I don't, $260 for a year is not bad. Start doing the course on your own. And remember, only now, we've only revealed the first months of work. In the next 2 weeks, we'll be filming, and we've already filmed it, we'll be announcing the second month. And the biggest thing to all this, don't sell yourself short. You can do this. You can do it to some degree. You can aim here, and you might end up here. The point is you'll end up somewhere where if you don't do anything, if you fear and you go, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I don't have the looks, guess where you're going to go? Nowhere. So please understand this. It's a skill, it's a work. I've absolutely loved doing this for 12 weeks. I really have. I drove I was staying at someone's house today, out of Melbourne. I just came just to do this. I love this. I enjoy this because I reach people. I've got some beautiful love letters from people. And I'm just bad at advertising that shit. I just go, oh my God, I'm feel intimidated. But it's nice because I can reach people that I can't reach. And I would really love to invite you all to a class inside the lab. We'll set up a camera, but that's a 4-hour commitment and you've got to do it at home. You will do relaxation for 40 minutes. You will do all these things. And above all, please, and I'm going to start being more strict with this. That's a good word, strict. I want you all to start writing. Stop putting shit on Facebook. Make short films out of them. Because you need to connect your craft to a product. We're here to learn stuff. You're going to make a product and you're going to make one short film after another one, after another one, after another one. You're going to take more responsibility for your own career. Otherwise, you can wait for your agent to call till that role happens for you. I know. There's nothing wrong with your phone. It's just not ringing. All right? So thank you, all of you. I need to go now. I've really, really appreciated this. I've really enjoyed it. I hope we see you on the other side. My lovely team here will stop giving you all the information. I hope you enjoyed it. And above all, if I never see you again, fucking do this. Do this, do this. We're also going to keep, by the way, just so you're all aware of really quickly, we're going to keep posting the last classes. Every class we've filmed in the past, we're going to put it online. I think they'll be doing this right now. But that's what it comes down to. So thank you very much. Hope you enjoy it. Keep the dream not just alive, make it practical. Please remind yourself, life without this, oh, there's nothing worse. So take care, guys, okay? Take care, keep working hard, keep inspiring yourself, and work harder than you've ever worked. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope to see you next week. Take care. Bye. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum.